What is up, guys? Welcome back to Futbol Asada. I'm your host, Andre, here, my co-host, Chris.
What up, boys and girls?
And today, we're going to be giving the 6 things we learned from Mexico after they secured the CONCACAF Nations League for the first time. Now we're the champions of everything. The Kings of CONCACAF are back. But before we get started, make sure to like the video, subscribe for the best Mexican football content, hit the post notice, and click the links down below to join all of our platforms. So immediately, what is the first reason you learned? No, the first thing you learned, my bad.
First thing I learned is kind of what you said already. We are back to being the kings of CONCACAF, whatever that is worth. In the past, all it's really meant is a round of 16 exit in the World Cup. But we're back to being the kings of CONCACAF. I mean, we're the current Gold Cup champions, current Nations League champions, current U20 champions, current U17 champions. We're owning at every single level. We have the best domestic league still in Liga MX. And I wouldn't say we have the best team on paper. I still think the US has a better roster. Canada, I still believe, probably has top to bottom a better roster. They have more guys performing well in top 5 leagues. They arguably have 2 world-class players like Jonathan David and Alfonso Davies that Mexico does not have. But with that being said, what we've seen on the field and from the coach, the managers, the results speak for themselves. Like Mexico is the best team right now in CONCACAF, which is a good achievement for now because again, for the last 3-4 years, we've been in the mud. We haven't been not even close to being the best team in CONCACAF. We've been getting dominated at all levels. Even just a year ago or 2 years ago, we were closer to being the third best team in CONCACAF, dropping below Canada to being the first. But now we're in an upward trajectory. We're taking it one step at a time. Now we're back to being number one. And yeah, that's the first thing I learned.
I completely agree. I mean, we're obligated to be the Kings of CONCACAF. That's the reality, and we're back to doing so. My first one, the main player, obviously. Raul Alonso Jimenez is the face of the team. For as long as I can remember, we haven't really had that player that, like, fans would pay to see, or other fans, not even Mexico fans, like, recognize the national team because of him. And I think that's what Raul Jimenez is doing right now. I think it's mind-blowing what he's been able to do. Like, he scored all 4 goals in this tournament. He's getting an insane amount of stats under Vasco. And just this summer, we still didn't have this guy in our mind, like, being the Raul Jimenez we once thought he was anymore. Like, I remember when the Premier League started, I was already like, I highly doubt he's going to stay in Prem. I think he might go to Liga MX by this summer. And by, like, September, he started racking up goals. And by his first convocatoria, he was already, getting all the goals for Mexico. So I think right now what he's doing, he's the face of the team. Santi, unfortunate for him, but, like, he has to be the Robin to his Batman right now. But those two can really benefit from Raul being in top-tier form right now.
For me, the second thing I learned is that Mexico has a right back and left back problem, but for 2 different reasons. I think the right back problem is a good problem because I thought what I saw from Israel Reyes this tournament, I thought he was very solid. I think he came in with a lot of pressure, knowing that, like, I think players see what people say about them online, bro. Everybody wants Rodrigo Huesca starting because he's playing in Copenhagen, scored in the Conference League, is younger, probably has, like, a better, like, potential. And then Julian Araujo, I know he wasn't here this time, but he's playing in the Prem and also younger. So I feel like he hears the noise of other people, like, favoring those guys, like, with the pressure on him. Like, I thought he was very, very solid. He was the least experienced player in that whole back line. Montes and Vasquez have been playing together forever, or at least the last couple of years. Gallardo's been there since the fucking 70s, it feels like. And then Israel Reyes was like his first real chance, and I thought he took advantage of it. He didn't really have any bad mistakes. I thought he was solid defensively. Going forward, he didn't really do much, but I don't think we needed him to. And I think that's a good problem. Like, if we can trust him, who's like a tall, more physical right back, and we still have Huescas, and we still have Julian Araujo. I think it's a good mix to have. I think it's a good problem to have 3 solid right backs that we can trust. Maybe use them in different situations. Maybe, like, when we use a back 5, we go with, like, a Huescas or Araujo. And then, when we need to be more defensive, maybe we would go with Reyes. So I really liked that. I think we have a good problem on that side. The other side, though, we have a problem. And that's because all of our left backs suck. Like Jesus Gallardo, he was probably the weak link in the back line. He was, especially in the final, this guy was getting absolutely mixed, like, consistently by the Panamanian wingers. All their attacks came from his side. And he's just not good enough, man. Like, this guy, I think it's actually insane how this guy has 100 caps, but I think that speaks more because Mexico's lack of quality at left backs, that, like, there's not really anyone there to replace him. I don't really blame El Vasco for starting him, and I don't blame Gallardo for playing because I think we have a problem that they're just not any really performing. Like, to be honest, like Mateo Chavez is young, he's starting like to do decent for Chivas, but is he really like right now that much better than Gallardo? I don't know. I think Omar Campos has completely fell off ever since going to Cruz Azul. LAFC first and then Cruz Azul. I mean, Chiquete can play left back, but he's not a left back. Johan can play left back, but he's not a left back. I think Brian Gonzalez is solid. He's a young player, but again, like he's not all that much better than Gallardo right now. Pachuca's not really doing that well in the league. There's not really that many options, to be honest. I mean, Jonathan Gomez was an option with a dual net, but he doesn't even play in Greece. Like, I think we're like lacking talent, like crazy at the left back position, and we're starting a Gallardo in the World Cup who's going to be in his 30s against like all the young wingers right now. Like all the wingers and the best wingers in the world right now seem to be all like under 23 years old. Like I do not trust Gallardo having to mark any of those guys. I think we need to like I think someone needs to step up, bro. Like someone in the Liga MX, someone needs to step up and fill that role because we cannot have Gallardo starting in the World Cup. Like it's going to be a liability.
For my second reason is Vasco Aguirre knows his players and knows how to get the best out of them. So in the past, how many times would you see previous Mexico managers stick to the same team, the same lineups, be stubborn with taking players out, benching Santi? But now, like, even building up to this CONCACAF Nations League, I was still doubtful that we were going to switch up the formation because of past managers. And we were asking for like a 5-back or a 4-4-2. And we got a 4-4-2 both games. We actually got Santi and Raul Jimenez to start. Not only that, Piojo Alvarado, this was like the first time ever, him in a Mexico shirt, where I'm actually impressed with how he played. In the first game, Vasco gave him a role to be like a creative outlet and still be like kind of like a right wing back. And he guarded Alfonso Davies, shut him out the whole game. I've never seen him play like that at Chivas. That's not his role. But Vasco knew that. Another example is Julian Quiñones. How many times has he started in the left wing in the past and he just doesn't do anything? Because I've been saying for a long time, this guy's a striker and his best formation is in a 4-4-2 or in any two-striker formation. But instead of Vasco starting Quiñones on the left, like forcing him to start, getting a mid-performance because that's not his best position, he said, no, we'll just have him off the bench because Santi and Raul are irreplaceable. And I mean, Quiñones is great off the bench. He didn't get that many minutes, but I think that's better than forcing him to play on a position he's not really good at. It was kind of a relief to see that as well because in the pre-match press conferences to the first Canada game, Vasco basically gave an answer that I've been saying for a long time that I've been feeling is that Quiñones is not a winger. His best formation or his best positioning is in a two-striker formation. Vasco talks to his current coach in Saudi Arabia, asking him tips on where to play him. He knows in the past he worked well at Atlas with a two-striker formation in Julio Furch. Basically, what me and many other fans have been saying for a long time. So it was a relief to hear that.
And the last thing I learned, also similar to yours, it has to do with El Vasco. And it's super simple that El Vasco Aguirre isn't stupid. I'm not saying this guy's a genius, he's the best coach in the world or best manager in the world, but he did the bare minimum, which in a lot of ways is enough. Like back then, we had managers that would. I felt like their egos were like too much in the way of them, bro. Like we had Jimmy Lozano trying to get cute and not start Santi Jimenez. Diego Coca in his Nations League run, he wasn't starting Santi either. He didn't even start Johan. Remember when Diego Coca started a back five with 3 center backs and he didn't include Johan Vasquez in the starting lineup, and we got cooked 3-0 to the U.S. Like Tata Martino again opting for Funes Mori instead of Santi when he was balling for Feyenoord. And all the previous managers, at least for the last like 5 years, I felt like there was always one or two like superstars that that were on the bench for like no reason or like weren't getting called up for no reason. It was like always one head scratching decision. Like again with Tata, like benching Edson Alvarez against Argentina, that made zero sense. But like now, El Vasco, this was like the first tournament where I felt like there was no controversy. Like there was no like, yeah, like the call up wasn't perfect. There was still Charlie and Romo like in the lineup, but like as far as the superstars, like Santi started, Raul started, like Edson started, Malagon started, like Johan Vasquez started, like all like the ones that are like the for sure players that are going to be in every Mexico fan starting lineup. Like they were all there. And that's like the bare minimum a coach could do. Sometimes that's enough. You see like every single call up or every single like Nations League previously with other managers is like a big old deal like the day before when the lineups are leaked and then like, oh, Santi's on the bench. And it's just like everyone is already in a bad mood now going into the game. Everyone is like, oh my God, like another guy that like is like trying to get like do too much, bro. Like you're doing too much by trying to bench your best players and like like doing some weird strategies. I don't know what you're trying to do, show off your ego, like, oh, I can win without my best players. Like, nah, he's like, no, like I have my best players. Like I'm gonna build a formation that where I can fit all my best players, like as many as my best players as possible in the lineup. And that's just like keeping it simple. Like he basically kept it simple and it works. Like it worked. Santi didn't like play amazing or anything, but like I rather play with Raul and Santi, knowing Santi's at AC Milan, Raul's in the Prem. I'd rather play with him 20 games in a row than like having Santi on the bench for like literally back then it was for players like Memo Martinez and Henry Martin. Like no, like this guy like he knows at the very least he knows to play his best players. And there's no controversy with that at all. Like every time Santi's been available for him in a call up, he's started him. So for me, that was the last thing I learned. El Vasco isn't dumb. He'll at the very least get our best players on the field.
And for the third reason is that we still have to be patient with Santi Jimenez. I was very confident he was going to score in the final against Panama. Like the last time we played against Panama in the final at that stadium, he ended up scoring. That's the last time he scored a goal. I thought it was going to happen, and it sure seemed like he got a lot of chances. Should have put one away. Unfortunately, he didn't. But, I mean, that's just the only option we got right now is to be patient because he's more than good enough to continue being a starter. And once him and Raul Jimenez actually click, bro, it could be one of the best duos at the World Cup next year if we stick to playing a two-striker formation. Once those two guys click and are both like scoring and assisting off of each other, that'll be like one of the best attacks Mexico has ever had. Like I can say that since I've been growing up, it could be up there, especially because of their form and how the caliber of teams are playing at in Europe. So us as fans just have to be patient because I'm confident it will come. I mean, he's only 23 years old. Raul Jimenez is in form at 33. Santi has a lot of time, but I will be honest, I am getting a bit desperate. Those were the things we learned from Mexico's CONCACAF Nations League performances. Unfortunately, we lifted up the title. Finally good to see since we were at the stadium. The Chris curse is broken. And yeah, hopefully this just continues. Vasco continues to get wins because we have to get a lot of chemistry built in within this team for the World Cup. Any last comments?
I'm fully on board with this and like the project we are like heading into the 2026 World Cup. Like I said, we were in the mud for a very long time, but things are looking good. Like you never know, we might be peaking at just the right time. We still have like a little over a year before the World Cup, and if we stay on this upward trajectory, like who knows? Like maybe we're on the path to making history for the first time in the World Cup.
Thank you guys for watching. Like I said in the beginning, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for the best Mexican football content. Hit the post notice. Join the links down below. And we'll catch you guys next episode.
Peace.